Hi, everybody. This is your Omicron update for your 12/15/2021. Um, Due to the Omicron virus and thousands of kids being infected, London schools, including Kent, will most likely spend an extra week at home for Christmas, which is a pagan holiday, but we're not going to get into that, and 2 extra weeks in January. Now, this is the most beautiful thing I've heard in over 2 years. How is it that, and we're going to talk about this very deeply, how is London, Kent, Dutch World shutting down? The United States of America, 51 million cases, hundreds of thousands of kids infected, and they won't even close a store. 51, listen to that. The country with the worst deaths, the worst cases, the worst cases per capita, the worst count altogether, 51 million. They won't even shut a store. Yet other countries get 10 cases and they will shut down. My confusion is, who's Biden got to answer to make this happen? My confusion is to the 100 million that voted for him. Not me, because chill. We already know votes don't matter. We already know the people that go to that school in Manhattan, that they are the ones that are picked for president. How is it that a man who's lost more lives than Donald Trump, who I could care less about too, not CNN has said a word to him? How is it that a man who can't even read off a teleprompter without saying end of message allowed to run a country? Well, be the face of America. Like Roman Reigns is the face of WWE. We know he's not the man. We know it's all by Vince. So who is Biden's Vince McMahon? And Kamala Harris. This is the biggest joke of a black woman impersonating a black woman since Oprah impersonated a black woman. She's done nothing. Remember? Yes, we can. And I'm going to make it right. And I'm going to do what's good for black people. She's done nothing. Said nothing. Irrelevant. When interviews come, she's got to find her way to get to the podium. See, this is what happens when money owns everything. A 84-year-old man who's got less shelf life than a pack of cigarettes is running the country. A 40 or 50-year-old black woman who has about as much common sense as Roadrunner, who kept knowing he was going to fail. He kept trying and trying and trying and trying. Senate has said nothing. They let unemployment run out. They said nothing. They didn't even bring it up. They said if you don't get vaccinated, you can't go back to work. And then put up fake job number report that we added 10 million jobs. You can add 100 million jobs, but if 40 million people left the workforce, you now got to make up 140 million jobs. Isn't it funny how his infrastructure plan never involved helping the people that voted him in? Isn't it funny that the infrastructure plan never restored anything for those that were sent home and can't go back to work because of comorbidities? health issues, their kids at home. My daughter's scared to death to go to school. Not because of Biden, well, because little kids shooting up everything. I'm more scared of a 14-year-old white kid than I am of a 35-year-old cop with a gun. I'm scared to walk near any school, drive by any school. I'm scared to even think about school. I would rather sell everything in my life to keep her home, at home school, than to wake up one day because some little bastard named Billy or Tommy or Timothy got bullied and he wants to go get a gun. Back to Omicron. 50% of Europe's cases are now Omicron. And they said every day it's going up 10%, which means by today's Wednesday, that means by Sunday or Monday, Europe would have 100% Omicron. Now, my last video was very detailed. The outbreak happened in October. February, we got our first case. They locked the country down in March or April. Now, my question is, if Europe's locking down, why did they block Africa and not block Europe from coming here if that's where it happened last time? The reason is because Biden's not allowed to. He's lost 400 and something thousand American lives and has done nothing to keep us safe but push this poison, this medicine in your body. I don't know if it's poison. I'm just saying America hasn't done too well helping out other races. Well, mainly the black race. You should look up the 1929 Tuskegee experiment. It will explain everything. If you didn't care about us for 100 years, all of a sudden you care about us this year? It seems like his goal is to hit 1 million so he can be reelected. Now, I've called out some things, mainly one, JoJo Siwa, with the Dancing with the Stars, that she had the win, but I went on Twitter months ago and said she'll probably win to push the agenda on these kids that it's okay to be with a girl if you're 12. At 12 years old, baby, I'm going to say this to you. At 12 years old, I didn't even know what my dick did. You get it? I didn't even know what them little fuzzy hairs were. How the fuck does a girl know she's gay? How does a boy know he's gay? You feel me? Impossible. That's physically impossible, all right? It's that kids are not even, I don't care how evolutionary they are, they still go through puberty. How at 8 years old you know you want to be with women? You feel me? If you don't even have the urge down there yet, which usually starts with wanting a penis, right? Anyway, let's get back to the fact. It's a little funny, but this is real. Why is the country with the most deaths, the most cases, refuse to close, but all the other countries are starting to shut down? The town I live in, we already have Omicron. Guess what they did? These dumbass people went out and said, you don't need a mask. You don't need anything. If you're vaccinated, you can come in. But Omicron will put you in the hospital because a person that was fully vaccinated just died in Europe yesterday, their first death from Omicron. In Africa, there are almost 7,000 people fighting in the hospital. But it's all in the black part of Africa, not the rich part in northern Africa. Message. My problem is this. If America, this great country, how is it that we have the worst cases, the worst deaths, the worst cases per 100,000, the worst deaths per capita, open, and countries that have 50 cases have shut down? Europe shutting down, Kent shutting down, Dutchland shutting down, and closing their doors to the world. How come we won't? Doesn't it seem like we're not allowed to unless Biden's Vince McMahon lets them? This is your Omicron update. Remember, No face, no case 13. You put a mask on your face, you won't be the next case. See y'all in 2 days.